Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Philosophical from the Rap Review Room. I know I'm a little late on this, but we got a Nick Grant album. I took it personal. We're gonna be reviewing this, man. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Nick Grant. I've done a couple of his tracks. I've spoken to him, man. Really cool dude, really cool artist. One of my favorite artists. Maybe someday, maybe one day, I can get him on a track. But really, really dope artist, man. We're here to review Nick Grant. I took it personal. Let's get it. Got to the intro. What's going on? What's going on? Once again, y'all, if you're coming to the channel, I am Philosophical, your host of the Rap Review Room, where we review a lot of up and coming artists, where whether that may be a track, an album, or an interview. This information is also down in the description box. If you would like your track reviewed, an album review, or interview on this channel, don't hesitate to reach out. I got one coming out hopefully within the next week, right after this clips roll out, of course. Um, got a track review, man, from a group, man, really, really dope group, man. Really appreciate them reaching out to me, man. I'm gonna be reviewing that. But again, if you're an up and coming artist and you want your music reviewed here, don't hesitate to reach out to me. The information is also down in the description box. Follow me here on YouTube, like and subscribe. Also, I appreciate everybody that's liked and subscribed. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Tell me a little bit about you, and we can definitely get your music reviewed here um, properly, right? So, also continue to like and subscribe to the page. It tells YouTube that you're really enjoying the content, man. Um, there may be some changes coming on the channel. I haven't quite thought about it yet, how I'm going to do it yet. But look out for that also. So, let's talk about Nick Grant a little bit, right? Um, Nick Grant, as far as I know, I he has 6 projects out, right? That's including mixtapes that I have listened to, and I've listened to all his projects, and I feel like every single project has like it's evolved. It's evolved, of course, and you like to see that from artists. For me, I like Nick Grant's cadence. I like the way he rhymes. I like his storytelling. I like his passion on tracks. I like kind of his swag. He carries himself on tracks. And we're going to speak on some things he said on the Rory and Maul show here in a few minutes that I have some thoughts on too. But as I stated, right, from the 98 mixtape, right, A Seat at the Table, Return of the Cool, which is a very Seat at the Table and Return of the Cool are very good projects. Very good projects. 98 was a good starting introduction project. Like that project also. A Seat at the Table, Return of the Cool, one of my favorite projects from Nick Grant, right? Dreamer Out Loud was kind of his label debut. Um, I like that project. I like that project. I feel like and I'm gonna get to I took it personal here in a few minutes, but reason why I'm saying this is because each project you had a different type of Nick Grant as an artist evolving, right? Welcome to Loveland was a project I felt like was kind of he was being experimental, trying something different, and I did appreciate that, right? And then Sunday Dinner, I felt was it kind of a notch back to kind of that Return of the Cool, Dream Out Loud, but it was more in kind of that aggressive sound, more storytelling. I actually did a track he had with Ransom, reviewed that. That'll also be down in the description box also. But overall, man, I like Nick Grant as far as like the way he's rapping, his storytelling, his cadence. I study him a lot, his relatability. Um, and I like the way he moves as far as an artist, right? Um, and his reflection on personal life, his reflection on like family, kind of that classic '90s, New York rap he does, storytelling. I really enjoy that, and it says a lot as far as um, this album here, right? I took it personal. Um, and a lot of things as far as this album, I took it personal was kind of it says a lot, right? He talks about a lot of things on this album. I took it personal, relationships, family, uh, um, his label. That was a really big thing, right? Him having label issues. He speaks about that on this album, and I felt like Sunday Dinner was very personal, but I feel like him taking it I took it personal album. He's speaking more on a passionate personal level than Sunday Dinner, right? Um, so we'll get to the track listing here in a few minutes, but I'm gonna say here right now, he called out and said that he likes Jid, but he feels he's better than JID, of course. I feel like they're two different artists. I don't feel like we should look too much into this as far as like, man, it's no beef between the two. It's just an artist feeling like he's better. That's just competition, and I think it's cool. He's saying this on the Rory and Mar show. Shout out to them also. Shout out to JID and shout out to Nick Grant for saying it, right? He feels he's better. And, at the same time, uh, you can layer this out as far as is he better? It's all about subjection here, right? It's subjective opinion on it, right? Is he better? Ah, from a technical and lyrical standpoint, they're two different artists, two different perspectives, right? But if I don't think it's that deep as far as him saying it. I mean, like he would probably say, he speaks about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar a little bit on this new album too. But I mean, as an artist, man, that confidence, of course, he's got to say that, right? He's got to say that. So I wouldn't look too deep into this. Um, do I think he's better? In some respects, I feel like um, it's all about perspective. I like JID for different reasons. I like Nick Grant for other different reasons. So um, if it comes down to a beef where JID or Nick Grant starts to speak on this on music, then I'll kind of stand my standpoint. But I like Nick Grant, right? So as an artist, he had to say what he had to say on this. Cool, cool, right? It's cool. I wouldn't look too much into that. It's not too serious. But let's get to the track listing here, right? We got 14 tracks on I Took It Personal. And I felt like, again, as I mentioned those previous projects, I felt like um, this album is a combination of the previous projects, right? 88, A Seat at the Table, Return to the Cool, Dream Out Loud, Welcome to Loveland, and Sunday Dinner. I feel like this album's a combination of that. We got some aggressive storytelling. We got his traditional storytelling. We got relationships. We got family. We even got some nods to like his label issues, right? And I again, I feel like I really appreciated this album, right? And I continually find myself going back to listening to Nick Grant's albums. Specifically, right? I found myself always going back to Return to the Cool and A Seat at the Table. Those two projects, I feel like I found myself always going back to. And I just feel like the other projects are kind of just additions where it's like, hey, just a great body of work, right? I feel like Nick Grant's a little underrated. He should be in the circles of a lot of other rappers. But at the same time, um, us as rappers and artists, sometimes we're not exposed like other artists are to an audience. And I'm pretty sure Nick Grant is doing well. He has his audience. I'm a fan, right? But unfortunately, man, sometimes our time is not our time, and that's cool. But he definitely deserves his flowers. Nick Grant is a dope artist, right? So let's get into it. I am a sucker for amazing intros, and this is no different. Amazing intros to me kind of speak on just the start of an album. Impactful. You get it right. It shows the tone of the album, and I'm a sucker for that. And I love that, man. I love that. So unforgettable. Unforgettable to me kind of comes off as you know dreaming out loud, right? Type. Go back and listen to that intro, 98 Bulls on Dreaming Out Loud. Amazing intro, right? Amazing intro here, unforgettable, right? Let It Rain, Read Your Contract. This is where he speaks a lot. This is a very good track where he kind of speaks on a lot of the label issues he had, and he kind of speaks on it, man. Read your contract, right? Do your homework, right? Really dope track. I like this track a lot, right? Do You Love Me? Kind of the sample there, the beat there. I thought this was a cool track. Big Timers, that '90s rap again, that '90s rap, that '90s storytelling that I've grown accustomed to hearing from Nick Grant and loved it. Um, Pass It Out, House Calls. I felt like I had excuse me, I saw this a little bit as far as growing on Instagram, and when I see artists kind of branch out and do different things, experimental, I always appreciate that. So I did appreciate this track. It's a cool track. Ritual, amazing track. Amazing track. The Ritual is an amazing track. No Apologies again is a very great track, aggressive track, storytelling from Nick Grant. I like this. I like this track a lot. Love for the Mob, again, example of that '90s storytelling. Great storytelling. I love this track a lot. The Pride, I couldn't find out who was. Please let me know down in the comments who was this on the hook. I couldn't find out who this was. I wanted to give her a shout out. Amazing hook on this. Amazing hook on this. Right. The Pride was an amazing track. Amazing hook. I couldn't find out who the artist name was. I tried to look for it, but let me know down in the comments who this was. I would love to give her a shout out. Her flowers on this. Amazing, amazing hook. Back Home, I felt like it was a cool track. Also, it's kind of a nod back to family, back home, telling the story. I like this track a lot. Product Dealer User, I feel like it's a story, telling his story on this. I feel like again back to that New York rap '90s storytelling again. Uh, Something to Say is my favorite track on this album. Favorite track on this album. Amazing track. And it could be one of my favorite tracks of all time from Nick Grant. Amazing, amazing, right? Nothing's Free. I felt like, again, he had started posting this track. I felt like it was cool, the aggressive, Nick Grant on this. I felt like it was cool. This is one of those cool tracks. And then It Ain't Personal, I feel like was a great ending. A great ending. So we got a little bit of Welcome to Loveland. We got a little bit of Sunday Dinner. We got a little bit of Seat at the Table. We got a combination of a lot of albums on one album, and I liked it. I felt like it was focused. I felt it was conceptual. We got Nick Grant at his core. He speaks about family, relationships, and I just enjoy the fact that Nick Grant continues to evolve himself sonically, himself lyrically, conceptually, and I really enjoy this album. So I'm gonna give this album definitely an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Amazing album. I took it personal. Another great entry in the Nick Grant's discography. Definitely let me know what you think. Did you check this album out? I'm gonna have some links down in the description box of how you can listen to this album. Great album. Also, other breakdowns of done of Nick Grant, especially from Sunday Dinner. He had the track with Ransom. Amazing track. Also, man, I apologize. Also honored to be able to review this track, man. Shout out to you, also Nick Grant. Really appreciate also having a conversation with you, speaking to you, man. Really dope. And you had to appreciate to take the time out to speak to me, also, man. Really appreciate that, man. Shout out to you, also. Also, man, please continue to like and subscribe to the page. If you're an up and coming artist and you want your music reviewed here, don't hesitate to reach out, whether it be a track, an album, or interview. This information is also down in the description box. Definitely follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Let me know who you are. We can definitely get your music reviewed here, y'all. All right. Also, continue to like and subscribe to the page. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And then after that, once we hit that 1,000, I'm on the mountaintop going into 10,000, y'all. So definitely appreciate the love and feedback you guys have been doing for the channel. All right. I'm Philosophical from the Rap Review Room, y'all. I'm out, y'all. Peace.